Hello, my name is Tom Stiles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And tonight we're going to attempt another automatic tuning system scan. And this is the CCrane Skywave radio. We did a scan this afternoon and didn't get very good results. Didn't get very many stations, but that was kind of understandable in that it was in the afternoon. So now it's the evening, and it's just it's 8:10 p.m. here in Florida, Eastern Daylight Time, and we're going to attempt again to do an ATS scan on shortwave. So here we go. Going to push the ATS button and hold it. And there's scanning now. I'm using the built-in antenna. And I wonder if I turn off a light, that display would be a little better. No, it's not any better. So always go and see what it does. And then I had two questions. I had, could you show us what happens when you use an external antenna? And since this does not have an antenna jack, we'll just have to clip it onto the built-in telescopic antenna and see how it works. And then another question was, could you illustrate the squelch mode and what that is? I'll try to do that. And it's moving right along. We're up to page 2. Wow. Channel 9. And it appears what this radio does is every time you do one of these ATSs, it starts at the first page, the first channel, and writes over whatever you've had in there before. So it's page 2, channel 0, which is 10. And we'll see what happens up to 15 megahertz. Does scan quite fast. Which is good and bad in that it gets through the scan fast, but since it doesn't dwell on a frequency very long, it could easily miss a station that just happened to be quiet at the second it was there. Okay, it's done. We can turn up the volume now. And we're back to page 1, channel 1. Sounds like one of the religious stations in Tennessee, here in the United States. We'll go to 2. Quite a bit of noise. Go to 3. Sounds like a Spanish station. 4. Another one. That's a religious station out of Tennessee. Another Spanish speaking station. Sounds Spanish. Kind of in and out. Not much there. Not sure what that is. Now, since it got more than 10 stations, I have to go to the next page. So I'll go to page 2, channel 0. I'll go back to channel 1. Well, that's full scale. Channel 2. Channel 3, 4. That sounds like China Radio. Not sure.
Hello and welcome to Sunday Show, the biggest feature of the week on the Radio Voice of Vietnam.
Oh, Radio Vietnam.
Hospitable people.
Loud and clear.
I'm full-time your host.
I'm not sure what that is. I think that's China Radio station in Spanish.
The file was submitted.
There's China Radio.
And the names on it. That is to say.
Okay, I don't know if it went beyond page 2. Let's go to page 3. Nope. That's, I recognize that. That's one of the stations or frequencies that's preloaded from the factory. So it didn't get up to this one. Still has a preloaded station. Okay, that's at page 310. Let's go to 1. Yep, that's preloaded station 2. I wrote down, this afternoon, I wrote down the frequencies. Well, let me back up. I did a reset of the radio, so everything went back to the factory, and then I wrote down the frequencies that are stored in the memories. And there's 10 frequencies that's stored, and it repeats that on every page. So I'm recognizing those frequencies that are preloaded into the radio. So there was a scan using the internal or telescopic antenna of the radio. Now, the question that was sent to me was, how much does it improve using an external antenna? So we got up through page 1 and page 2, and it was on page 3 when it stopped. And then the phone rings. Okay, luckily my wife got the phone. Okay, so now let's push the telescopic antenna down so that I can get to a small section. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, there it is. And here's a clip that I've clipped to my coax cable that goes to my G5RV external antenna. And of course, this is not the appropriate way to do this because I'm not getting the advantage of the ground conductor of this cable. And the G5RV is designed so that you have to use the center conductor and the ground to get the full effect of the antenna. So I'm only going to get half the effect, but still that's quite a bit because it's outside, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to clip that onto here, and unfortunately you have to do it this way because it doesn't have a external antenna jack. And then I'll bring it back down to show you the radio. And then we'll do another ATS. Here we go. And it's off. Now also by having just that single conductor short piece of wire there to get the connection to the radio, that introduces the possibility of picking up noise in my office here. So we might get a lot of channels that are just noise. Let's see, we've gotten 3 channels, 4 channels, 5 channels. We've got 5 channels of something, either noise or actually a broadcast. Up to 6, 7, 8. Still scanning. Up to 7 megahertz. 9, 10. Now we'll have to go to page 2. Does that automatically, of course. I don't know if you can see it, but the S meter is way up there. But a lot of that's noise. Okay, we're at page 2, channel 2 already. Now, last time when we did it just with a telescopic antenna, we got page 2 completely filled up. We're at channel 4. Still moving. Channel 5. Be curious to see how many of these are stations or just noise. Well, there was a strong one. There was another strong one. Didn't seem to count those, though. That's strange. I didn't see the channel number increase, even though it looks like it hesitated. That's interesting. I'll have to go back and look at the video myself. We're still on channel 7. And we're up to 17 megahertz. Looks like, believe it or not, we're not going to get as many channels this time. But, of course, conditions are rapidly changing, so what you get on one pass may not be the same thing you get on another pass. Okay, we're done. We'll leave the antenna hooked up, of course, and we'll turn the volume up, see what we got. Bunch of noise. Okay, we'll go to 2. Again, we're on page 1. 3. Pretty strong. 4. Strong, but a lot of noise too. 5. Well, that's coming in clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to biblical times and seasons, the harvest
So the external antenna is really helping. Let me disconnect it for a second. Yeah. And it didn't seem to make a difference. Okay, we're up to 5, goes 6. Clear as a bell. 7. Noisy. 8. Noisy. 9. Just noise. 10. Okay, now we'll have to go to the next page. So we'll push page 2. 1. Coming and going. I think that's China radio. Okay, that's with the external antenna. I'm going to take it off. Still pretty strong. And that's with the antenna collapsed. 4. WWV. Disconnect the external antenna. That goes down considerably. So it's kind of frequency dependent. 5. 6. And these could be a slightly off frequency. 7, and I think that was the last one we got. Yeah. So we got 2 less frequencies.